Yeah, so one day while I was at the university, we were discussing about virginity in my room. So while we were discussing about it in a kind of positive light, we had someone out of our room come into the room to join the conversation. And so she said something that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So she said, my mom married as a virgin. She kept herself for my dad. She gave her virginity to my dad. Yet, that did not stop my dad from beating her. That did not stop my dad from cheating on her. My dad really maltreated my mom. And my mom vowed that none of our children will actually give their virginity to any man. None of us would marry as virgins. That was my mom's vow. And I was like, what? Then she continued. So on my 18th birthday, my mom rented a room for us in a hotel, and she ensured that my boyfriend took my virginity. She said it was better for me to give it to a boyfriend than to start keeping anything in my head for one man somewhere. And I was like, what? It sounded so weird to me. I felt like this doesn't make sense. This was not how I was brought up. This was not how I have been taught. What kind of a teaching is this? Why would a woman sit down and teach her children this? It felt so weird to me. But today, after many years, that was like 8 years ago, after many years now, I have come to a realization that there could be a little bit of truth in what the lady was saying. And that is exactly what I am trying to talk about today. So let's go right into it. So hello everyone, I'm so happy that you have joined me here today. My name is Lizzy Oyebola Yakubu, Mrs. Yaks. You're welcome to Biblically Mrs. Yaks, where the Bible has the final say. So this is an issue I'm going to be talking about very shortly, and I hope God helps us to reach a very great conclusion before my babies wake up. Right, so virginity. What exactly is virginity? So according to the dictionary, virginity is the state of never having had sexual intercourse. As simple as that. That is what virginity is all about. This person has never had sexual intercourse. The person's hymen as a lady is intact, and as a man, this man hasn't gone into any woman. That is what virginity is all about. So virginity is beautiful. When you look at the Bible, you see the beauty of virginity spread all over. In actual fact, when God was to send Jesus Christ to the world to be born, he had to choose a virgin to do that. For real, if Mary had committed immorality before, God would have forgiven her if she went to God to confess her sin. But of course, she wouldn't have been able to bear Jesus, because Jesus had to come through a virgin. It was already a prophecy. It was something that was already stated. So it was supposed to be a virgin and nothing more. So while God would have forgiven Mary, she wouldn't have been able to bear Jesus. So virginity is such a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful gift, and it's something that we should uphold in this culture, in these days and times. So our fathers, our forefathers, and all that have taught us about keeping virginity have done so well. Many people have told us we should keep our virginities for our husbands and all. It's not like it's bad. It's very beautiful, right? It's a very beautiful thing to give our husbands. It's a very beautiful thing to carry and present on our wedding night. It's beautiful to like present this gift to our husbands and to our wives, actually. And to our wives, because virginity is not only restricted to the female gender. So while it is all good and all beautiful and all amazing, that shouldn't be your main goal. In the story I shared with you, that was the main goal of that woman. She had been taught that when you get married, this virginity will keep your home. It will keep your man. But that's not true. It's a big fat lie. Virginity will not keep your marriage. It's not correct. And this is one thing you should know at the back of your mind, because it will help you a lot when you are going into marriage, or if you're a married person, this will help you to change your mentality, the mindset you might have entered into marriage with. Virginity doesn't keep any home. Virginity doesn't keep any man. In actual fact, virginity can become so great of an idol that it will destroy your home completely. So how can it destroy your home? Because number one, it can become an idol to you. You married me as a virgin. You married me as a virgin. I gave my virginity to you. I gave my virginity to you. It becomes an idol to you. In actual fact, so many issues of some marriages revolve around this virginity of a thing. In actual fact, it becomes a big problem to even the spouse that, couldn't it have been better if I had just married somebody that is not a virgin? Because virginity without character is actually going to ruin your home. Virginity doesn't keep your home. The character, godly characters and virtues are the ones that keep the home. Virginity also can create a kind of false hope for you, because you are entering into marriage with a mindset that because he met me as a virgin, he's going to honor me, he's not going to correct me when I'm wrong, he's going to treat me like this. You have a kind of false hope, a mindset that is not correct, and eventually when you get there and something still happen and he's still being very frank with you that this is the way we should do it, this is the way we shouldn't do it, you begin to fight, you feel so depressed, you wonder why you even kept the virginity in the first place. Just like the woman in the story I shared with you, right? The way it can destroy your marriage again is when you begin to do comparison, a comparative analysis of you and your spouse. Probably your spouse married you as a non-virgin. He wasn't a virgin when he got married to you. You begin to see yourself as a very high standard. You begin to wonder how you even got married to this person that wasn't even a virgin. I don't know if you get, like, it gives you this kind of pride, which is not God's intention anyway, right? And this is exactly why you need to be very careful. Stay humble. We're not able to keep the virginity by your power. It wasn't by your might. It wasn't because you had a better head than others. It was a very beautiful mercy of God that you enjoyed. So stay low. Don't let it get into your head. When you give a gift to someone, for instance, you leave the appreciation to the person. If the person appreciates you, good. If the person doesn't appreciate you, fine. If the person appreciates you 10 times, fine. If the person appreciates you 50 times, fine. If the person doesn't appreciate more than once, fine. If the person appreciates you 1,000, fine. But if you give someone a gift and that person keeps saying, you did not even thank me because of that gift the other day, but I also gave you that gift that day, you did not even thank me. That gift I gave you, you keep talking about the gift, it becomes a burden to the receiver. Right? It becomes a burden to the receiver. Let the person be proud of you himself or herself. Don't be the one to be rubbing into the face of the person over and over and over again. It isn't that we should let this thing become an idol in our homes. Why should you keep your virginity? What is the primary reason for keeping your virginity? What exactly is it? Number one and only reason that I can see that is the paramount for keeping your virginity is God. Because of God. I keep it for God. I forgive for God. I am wearing modest clothes because of God. I do this because of God. And I mean it. Let your reason for keeping virginity be solely about God. Because if it is not about God, you can lose it anyhow. Because I see so many messages. Some people are asking me their boyfriends or people that they're in relationship with that they are going to get married to in courtship, that they're going to get married to, is asking them. But the person is able to convince you now that you should give it to me since I am the one you are going to get married to. So because he is the one I'm going to get married to, I can easily just give it to him. And I'm like, no, why are you keeping this virginity? Aren't you keeping it for God? Why would you give virginity to somebody because that person is the one you want to get married to? When did that start? You lose your virginity in marriage. If you are upholding it, uphold it till the end. And with the right motive, with the right reason. Don't let anybody just come around. If you don't have a reason, a very great conviction about doing something, it is easy for you to be blown around by the winds of anything that can come. Why are you keeping your virginity? Keep it for God. Look at Mary. The angel came to meet Mary and said, Mary, thou art favored of the Lord, this and that and that. That was the angel telling Mary that you are losing your virginity to the Holy Spirit. Do you agree? It was as simple as that. And she submitted to that. It was not an idol. If it was an idol, if she had considered that, if Joseph should meet me as somebody that is not a virgin, they are going to stone me to death or something like that. No, she did not consider that. She didn't consider anything. She just submitted to the will of God because it was for God in the first place. She got pregnant, and the pregnancy was of the Holy Spirit, and she had a vaginal delivery, and of course that took her hymen away. But that does not have anything to do with, oh, she has lost her virginity, I didn't meet her as a virgin or something like that. No, she gave it to God as a living sacrifice. The Bible says we should give our bodies unto God as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Him. It's her reasonable service. I don't know if you understand. So don't keep your virginity because of a man, because a man would never be able to satisfy you and give you the full joy and glory that comes with the virginity. Oh, your husband will appreciate it. Oh, your wife will be so happy that they meant you as virgin. It's beautiful, right? I was so happy when I presented my virginity to my husband. I was so happy about it. I was so grateful to God that He kept me so far till that time. So that was a beautiful one, but that shouldn't get into your head. Keep it for God first. If you don't keep it for God first, you can easily lose it. It can easily be lost. You won't be able to know. You can easily lose it before marriage. For instance, as I said, in courtship, somebody can convince you to give it to him or her, right? Or in marriage, it becomes a big problem, especially number one, you didn't get married to somebody that is a virgin. You begin to see yourself so highly. Or you begin to feel unappreciated. There is this discontent. There is something, a void. This guy doesn't appreciate me. This lady doesn't appreciate me. And you begin to have that void inside of you. Let your satisfaction and joy come from God. Let it be because for instance, I am forgiving that person now, not because of myself, not because of him. I'm forgiving because God commanded me to do it. Let our reason be God. Let our why be God. We do this because of God, not because of anybody, not because of anything. And if you don't also keep it for God, that is why virginity is not tantamount to sexual purity these days. Yeah, very true. Because some people are holding on to that virginity. Okay, let's do every other thing, but don't come in, don't penetrate. Just let's do every other thing. Some ladies already, or some men, they already have all experience, all the experiences of sex. They have everything already, save the penetration and destruction, whatever of the hymen. That's the only thing that is remaining, and then the virginity will be totally gone. So if you don't have a reason, it will be, you will do every other thing. Okay, don't worry, you are keeping your virginity. I'll be all right. Let's do this one then. At least this one is okay. And let's do this one then. At least this one is okay now. It will still preserve your virginity. Because you're keeping it for the wrong reason. You're not keeping it for God. If you're keeping it for God, you know that every other thing, every sexual experience, is wrong. It's not supposed to be. We have so many unholy virgins these days. Yet when they get into marriage, you have so much pride. I kept myself. But you didn't. So we need to understand the fact that we are keeping this thing for God. And that is when it will be an acceptable sacrifice. That is when we will have all the great joy, when we are being celebrated, appreciated. Don't let things get into our heads. Our marriages are for God, our virginity for God, the way we dress for God, the way we forgive people for God, the way we talk for God. Let God be the reason why we do things. If that woman in the story that I gave you at the beginning of this video had kept this virginity because of God, how glorious would it have been? But because she was keeping it for one man, and unfortunately they were unbelievers. The man was cheating, was beating her, was doing all those things. She felt that kind of void, lack of security inside of her. She began to look at what the advice that her parents gave her as, oh, rubbish. I'm not going to pass this on to my children. And she ruined that child's, life. Because that one too might also pass it on to our own children if she doesn't meet with Christ, right? So let us have this at the back of our mind, that we're not keeping this thing because of any man. We're not keeping this thing to make our marriages beautiful. We are keeping this thing first of all because of God. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 5 says, and beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue. And I'm telling you, sisters and brothers, with all these things we have said, giving all diligence, add to your virginity virtues. And if you have lost the virginity, your virtues is even greater than the virginity. I'm telling you the truth. If you have confessed your sin of sexuality before marriage, God has forgiven you, right? Confess it to the Lord. Keep that virginity, that one that is there, even though it's not there physically anymore. That one that is there, keep it for the Lord as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Don't let one person come and tell you, maybe the person that took your virginity from you should come and be telling you, but I already took your virginity now, what else are you still keeping? Come here, let me continue, Joe. No. You understand the fact now that you are prioritizing your sexual purity. You are adding it now to virtue. Virgins, add to your virginity virtues, right? Let's begin to do things with the right perspective, with the right convictions. It will save us a lot of troubles when we get into marriage. It will help us to correct whatever mindset and mentality by going into marriage with. We are married already and you're already having issues because of this issue. Quickly go inside your marriage and begin to repair things like that, okay? Ask the Lord to help you to begin to correct all those notions that you probably had ahead of time. These virtues I'm talking about, let me just give you one of them before I go, because this video is not about virtues, and of course my children are awake. You can hear them at the background, so I need to go attend to them. One of the main virtues, in actual fact, a command from the Lord, is submission. Now let me tell you something. It's a secret I'm going to disclose to you right now. If a woman that is not a virgin gets married and is very submissive to her godly husband, the man will even forget totally that she was not a virgin. The virtues have covered that area. But if a virgin, totally virgin, like the person, in fact, the virginity is top notch, untouched or chara, you go into marriage with it, you lack all virtues, no submission, no peace, nothing. The man will forget totally that there was even any struggle at the beginning of the marriage to get into you. That is it. Because virginity cannot be compared with virtues. It can't. So this is one thing we should know. This is one thing we should remember at all times. And this is a very good secret I have given unto you. Singles, start to change your notion for keeping your virginity. And married people, start to fix your home. Stop getting it all over in your head. I'm a virgin, I'm a virgin, I'm a virgin. Begin to calm down. Begin to celebrate God. Begin to thank the Lord for keeping you, upholding you by His grace and His mercy. And begin to treat your spouse in a better way. So I think I should go right now, right? I think you've been able to get one or two things. It will be a very great pleasure for me to receive your comments below. I want to know what you think about this. Did you find it helpful? I would really love to read from you. Are you following me already on Instagram? My handle is biblically Mrs. Yaks. On Facebook, Lizzy Oyebola Yakubu. Please subscribe to this channel if you are not. Right, I think this is where I'm going to be drawing the curtain today. Till next time when I'll be coming your way again, I remain yours faithfully, Lizzy Oyebola Yakubu, Mrs. Yaks, saying stay godly.